Pennsylvania students and their families. They have a proven and rigorous High School Sports Live, in conjunction with PCN and ABC 27.3, is proud to present the featured game in the state of Pennsylvania tonight. The Red Lion Lions take on the Central York Panthers. Tonight's live broadcast is brought to you and made possible by our key sponsors, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, as well as community gold sponsors, Giant Foods, Jack Giambalvo Family of Dealerships, HOFFMAN Fords, United Rentals, and the Commonwealth Cheddar Academy, which serves over 16,000 K-12 grade Pennsylvania students and their families. They have a proven and rigorous online learning experience that is flexible and safe at no cost to Pennsylvania families. Hello everybody, I'm Todd McCall along with Jerome Presley and Archie Smith Jr. Tonight, we never even thought this was going to be possible. It's high school football night at Central York, and we are excited to bring our 13th season here at High School Sports Live. And Archie Smith, I'm going to start off right away. This game was a bit lopsided last year, 58-7. And, you know, Central York didn't lose a game without by less than two touchdowns. Won every game by 2 touchdowns, excuse me. And this year coming in, just want to really ask you this. What does Red Line got to do? What are you going to see tonight? What does Central York got to do?
Man, this is going to be, I think, a great brand of football today. These kids have been down. We've been battling this pandemic for the last 7 months. So it's a lot of football that's built up that these guys is ready to go out there and display tonight. And I think, you know, they remember, Red Line remember the whooping they took last year. So I think they're going to come out with something to prove. Athletes everywhere, seniors everywhere, and they're just happy to be playing right now. And I'm just happy to be here myself.
Well, you know, a couple players that we want to highlight right away in the get-go, and it's going to be in the quarterback position on both sides, Red Line and Central York. We've got two very special kids playing in tonight's game.
Yeah, and for Red Line, we'll start with Randy Pfizer, who's taking over the quarterback position. For the past 2 years, he was a receiver. So he's going to have to make an adjustment to being the primary signal caller and guiding this offense. As a receiver, he put up stellar numbers, and that's where he's being recruited. 90 receptions, 1,300 yards, 22 touchdowns in 2 seasons as a receiver. So making that jump will be difficult for him, but at the same time, he's an athlete, and they're thinking he'll be able to do it. On the other side, you have Mr. Pabula, and we know about the Pabula name. Bo Pabula has been playing and had a really lights-out year last year. He started out as a receiver as well when his brother, Cade, was the quarterback. So he takes over at the quarterback position last year, had a very good season. There's a lot of hype around him now, national hype. So that's why Penn State has really looked at him to come there in a couple of years. And what I'm looking to see from him is his ability to come out and show that he is the star that he's being built up to be. He has all the tools for it. He has all the size. He has the strong arm. He can run the ball, which we talked about, that his ability to run the ball is stellar. But I want to see that next jump in his maturation to be that star that everyone in the country is looking for.
Well, we are really happy to have this opportunity. Thought it might not come. Red Line, Central York, here live from Central York. Kickoff after these messages. Welcome to Friday Night Football. Thank you for joining us tonight. 13th season in High School Sports Live. We had some technical difficulties. Thanks for staying with us. Red Line with the ball. Pfizer's pass is complete. Not much there. To Lear, he's 6'2", 175 pounds. And already we saw Central York defense swarm to the ball immediately. They read that like a book, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I like seeing from the beginning is they're getting Pfizer throwing the ball early. Like we said in the pregame, he's coming from the receiver position. So we're getting a chance to see what is his quarterback potential, and getting him throwing the ball early is a good thing.
Pfizer's a low snap. They're going to have to actually, it was third down, excuse me. They're going to have to actually punt. Pfizer will handle the punt. The ball will roll just shy, right at the 40-yard line. There it'll be downed by Jeffrey Nakimikia. And the junior will literally get that ball spotted for the junior Bo Pavula and his crew. Central York Panthers coming on the field. And, you know, last year we talked about it being a little bit lopsided. Well, maybe a lot lopsided, 58-7. And Archie, you kind of mentioned in the pregame that just, you know, Red Line knew what is at stake in this YA Division I game.
Yeah, I think they're going to come out real aggressive today. as you can see, is a big carry coming up. And they're going to be looking to get the big hits. You can see their adrenaline starting to flow through, guys.
The carry was Isaiah Sturgis, on the left side. The senior 5'9", picks up yardage. Sturgis is one of those backs. He's strong, he's physical, he hits the holes well. He and Perbula really feed off each other well. And for a great passing game, you got to have a running game. They're going trips to the left side, single receiver right. Perbula looking right all the way across the 50-yard line. It's completed. And past those first down chains, and that's going to move it. And Central York is going to get some things going right away. First down.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that Red Line has to be careful of, if Central York is able to run the ball effectively, they're going to set up and to be able to do anything they want to if they can run the ball. So Red Line has to shut down the run, or it's just going to be a long day.
Rolling to his left side, pass completed to Tome. He's 6'1", senior, going left side there, and as you see, just continue to push the ball up the field. And I like that designed rollout to the left. You'll see that he can throw across his body pretty well. That's why the junior is a Penn State recruit. Last year, coming into the game, Perbula was 5 for 8 for 117 yards, hit 57 yards rushing and 3 TDs, and then he went out early and in that lopsided victory. And they never lost a league game last season at all. And Sturgis running very effectively across the 40, shy of the 35-yard line.
And one of those things, when you have a guy like Sturgis, he is smaller, so sometimes they can hide behind that offensive line and then just scoot out any side they want to. And again, this is ball control, being able to run the ball at will, being able to play action off of that, rolling out Perbula. You're seeing the whole repertoire of this offense to start the game.
Wright Rawls, receiver, we've called his name many times, the senior. He was split out right. Perbula's looking down the field, and he has Wright Rawls in the end zone, and it's touchdown. Just like that, just as we mentioned his name, Taylor Wright Rawls, we know what he's done. Throwman Archie, you remember this kid last year. We said that, he has wheels and got in the secondary wide open.
I mean, him and Toom, if you can see, these guys have he has 2 senior receivers that's out there, 2 returning guys back in this offense that is real explosive guys.
And that was just Wright Rawls just running by the defense. I mean, you had Aaron Lair, who just the safety that didn't get over in time, and sometimes you can freeze that safety by bringing someone down the seam. But Wright Rawls just ran a go route and just ran right past the corner, who's thinking, it looks like he thought he had help over the top with the safety. Beautiful ball by Perbula.
And it right from the get-go, a very effective drive, Central York. But we got an offsides call on Red Lion. It's going to bring on the point after, make it a little bit easier for Cole Luckenbach. The hold provided by Kyrie Brown. Snap, hold is down, fumbled, still got it up, and they're able to push it through. And it will be no good, actually. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more after these messages.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Welcome back to Central York, and just like that, now there's a point after that was missed. Now they had a shorter point after, and just to talk a little bit about it, we are calling this game kind of in a COVID situation for us for 13 years. It's a little different for us from our press box. Our press box had to be located, and that's for this reason. We wanted to be able to get the band there and some of the cheerleaders there, so we have a limited number, as you know. So we're kind of on the outskirts of the stadium as we hear the stadium effectively being able to call this game. So we're just happy to have this opportunity. So as we looked at that was that point after that's missed. Central York, very effective drive down the field. Yeah. And Archie, their senior leadership, and when you got playmakers they get in the secondary pretty easy.
Well, one thing, man, you can understand, and every team looks to understand, Central York has 24 seniors to Red Lions 14. That makes a big difference. Jerome can know exactly what I'm talking about, and anybody out there that know that played on a team that's more senior heavy. You have a lot of that senior leadership, and you have a lot of guys who has experience. And you can call and see that the play out there, and these seniors are playing.
That was a 5-play, 60-yard drive for Beulah, hooking up with one of his favorite receivers, if not his favorite receiver, Taylor Wright Rawls. 6-0 on the scoreboard here. This drive, you know, you're on the road. By the way, a beautiful stadium. We always say it every time we're here. You know, looking inside that playbook to get Randy Pfizer and this crew going, what will you think it might need to be done here?
Well, again, I think you have to see if you can establish some type of line of scrimmage. You have to be able to protect him. You have to be able to run the ball. And you have to be able to get on top of this defense. So that's what they need to do right here. So running the ball is good, but there's not a lot of running room right now. That defense is swarming.
So right side, and again, it's a very tough defensive side on that left side for Central York. But up front, Red Line is big, Archie. I mean, they've always had, any games that we've called through the years, they've always had nice size up front.
I mean, they dominated the line of scrimmage as well as last year. I mean, their offensive line came out, they attacked, they opened up gaps, but it was just the miscues that hurt them.
Shotgun formation for Pfizer. Pfizer's going to have to get out of there. There's nowhere to go, and he's going to be dragged down defensively. Coming up to make a great play is Trenton Dunning. The defensive end that goes 220 guys, 6'2", junior, and we remember him last year just getting after it. Look at the size on these guys. I mean, physically at the DN spots, Central York is loaded.
Well, the problem here was Pfizer didn't have any time at all, and I know we talk about the size of offensive linemen. I'll take a smaller offensive lineman that can move than a bigger offensive lineman that doesn't move as well. And I think what you saw right there, Pfizer had less than 2 seconds to even set up to throw the ball on that play. So there needs to be better protection.
Pfizer shotgun. Long call. Jumping over side pass. Pass is connected. Trenton Dunnick, right side.
And they have to get Dunnick involved, or Jake Bradley involved in the play. Number 6, they want to get him in the offense and get him the ball rolling. So again, this Red Lion team has to be able to advance the ball and get first downs. And right now, they're behind the sticks at 4th and 11.
And their second possession is going to result in a punt again. Pfizer in to punt it. He does a little bit of everything. Gets the punt off, going to take 2 steps. It's the way you like to come up and take it aggressively. Simpson takes it right side down the sideline, still on his feet, out of balance across the 25 and getting in the red zone, getting just shy of the 30, excuse me, and setting up another opportunity for Central York.
And there's a flag on the play. It looks like there may be a late hit out of bounds, personal foul. So you're going to tack more onto that yardage for Central York. So again, you tack on more yardage to that, and you can't afford, if you're a Red Lion, to have any of that happen. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and Archie kind of brought this up in the pregame, is the preparation for players getting ready at every level to play football. And then I'll wait till after this play and continue what I was saying about that, because that's very important. Oh, so we have a penalty. It looks like it will be a false start, or maybe even offsides on the defense.
I think this is going to get Central York, and it was, well, no, you're right.
You go.
And I thought I saw an illegal shift, too, on the right side, too. I thought 2 flags could have been thrown. We're going to see flags, guys, early in the game. Again, we talked about that. Now, this goes against Central York, Red Line, and just gives another opportunity. You know, here's part of what we talked about, Archie, in the pregame, is that we saw some of these same mistakes early on for Red Line last year. Sturgis with the carry, going right side. He's here to run pretty hard, as you can see. And that just makes Central York even more a really, really tough team to beat. Didn't lose a game by less than 3 touchdowns last year in the York Adams Division I top league. And they were effective, and it looks like right now just controlling every aspect of the line of scrimmage as well. Sturgis up the middle, straight forward into a pile of white Red Line Lions.
And again, they're just going to run the ball, see if they can get yardage. But again, we're talking about preparation for the year. There's three things that I look at when you're getting guys getting physically ready to play the football game. You have the cardiovascular situation, getting guys in shape. Number two, you have the strength training component. And then you have number three, the actual football contact. All three of those things were potentially affected by COVID as far as preparing kids for the season. So it's going to be difficult for some of these kids to get themselves where they need to be.
Perbula rolling left, end zone, touchdown, teaming up to Taylor Wright's Rawls one more time. And just that design to roll left, hits Rawls, Wright Rawls in the end zone, touchdown. Central York Panthers on the board again.
And again, Wright Rawls just, runs a good route in the end zone. He uses his body extremely well to get open, and he's able, you see the play action. Fabiola rolls out and then able to throw a dart, and that's 2 touchdown passes for him. So right now he's fitting the bill. You see a nice out by Wright Rawls, and he's able to get the touchdown.
Central York deciding to go for 2, flags down in the back of the end zone. That is incomplete. But we'll have to see what the flag is at this particular time, and I'm not sure if we saw a legal block, and I think it's going to go against Central York and Isaiah Sturgis. It'd be holding. I've also thought he might have, well, call is holding. Central York 12, Red Lion nothing. We'll be right back with more after these messages.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stellar Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises.
Welcome back, Central York. 2 possessions, 2 scores, 12-0. Let's take a look at that last drive. I mean, really very effective. And really, Perbula, we'll hold off to that for a second on that last drive. Perbula doing what he does. They have this designed roll out to the left, and he hits Wright Rawls, who gets to the pylon. And they just make things look very effective. They're also, I will say, those last 2 possessions for Central York, Archie, is set up by a strong run game.
Kick is in the end zone.
And you talk about Wright Rawls as a receiver. He is a polished senior, and he had probably his best year as a sophomore, where he had 873 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns, and he dipped last year, 404 yards and 3 touchdowns with 21.3 average. So you see there is a conscious effort from Central York to make sure he gets the ball.
Pfizer going to keep it. This is where he's very athletic, as we said. Talked about him being the receiver last year. 22 touchdowns for this kid in 2 seasons, over 1,300 yards, moves back to quarterback. That's one thing that maybe can be very effective for the Red Lions tonight, is the fact that he can move the ball with his feet, guys. Second down and 4. Big play for Red Lion. Last 2 possessions resulting in punts. Twins out to the right. In motion is Bradley. They're going to hit Bradley up the field. Read very well by the Central York defense, swarming to it. Wright Rawls comes up and makes a tackle. He plays both sides, and he had a lot of assistance there with Jack Smith coming up also for Central York making a tackle.
And I think the one thing on this situation is the first down yardage got you 7 yards. Your first play got you 7 yards. So now you come back and you do a quick out, and what happens? Central York collapses on it and makes it, you now have to get to that first down. You didn't get the yards you needed. So now it brings up a 3rd and 2. Now you got to go forward. Get this first down, and the blocking up front is the problem on that play. They just didn't have, there were too many defensive hats to the ball.
And that's going to bring up the 4th down. And Archie, just the pursuit to the ball with the Panthers right now.
Pfizer keeps the ball, brings up first and 1 for the Lions.
Well, 4th and 1, they're going to try to keep it. Pfizer on his feet.
He got it.
Fellas, that was just allowing your athlete to make a play for you in a time when you need a play made, Jerome. I mean, that is a gutsy call, really, in this game. But, I mean, at this point, red line back against the wall.
They had to do it.
Pfizer comes up.
I think it was one of those situations where you have to put the onus on your playmaker to do it, and he just went forward. And the line did a good job of getting, instead they needed 1, he got about 3 on that play. So they did their part.
Well, there's whistles. Movement maybe looking on the left side of the red line. And penalties will come back to hit. They had looked like they're going to bring Reed Anderson maybe in the jet sweep. Movement. So it'll be 1st and 15 for red line.
And again, you can't have those situations that bring you backwards against a Central York team. I mean, you can't give them chances. So that penalty definitely sets you up. Now you're 1st and 15, and you've been against the chains from the start of the game.
Look at the pursuit by Central York defensively. There was nowhere to go, not much to do there. And, you know, you look at it before Reed Anderson had the ball, he was looking at orange, fellas.
And when you see your offensive line sideways, then you know there's an issue. And you see several offensive linemen that are just they're overwhelmed by the speed, by the penetration of that Central York defense, and they're able to get in the backfield and just disrupt the entire start of the play before they even get going.
I like the pursuit I saw out of Kyle Fontes, the defensive end. He goes 220 at 6'4", senior, and he was there waiting for that play to happen. 2nd, 16, Pfizer, shotgun. Motion, quick pitch, right side, pursuit everywhere, and it is like the actual scouting book is in their hands this evening tonight. Jack Smith, the linebacker, coming up to make the hit, and Smith gets after it.
And yeah, Smith just comes, that's just downhill football right there. He read, react, and Jack Smith just came downhill and just destroyed the play.
You see Bradley in motion, and as soon as he was in motion, I mean, he was all over to actually Jack Smith. Jack Smith, pursuit-wise, strong physical. Weight room definitely, you can tell, has been something he's found himself in. 3rd down, 24. It's a long way to go. Twins on both sides. Shotgun, Pfizer. He's going to roll to his left, right? Keeps it, and will be knocked out of bounds. Pursuit by Simpson on the play.
And that's a coverage sack by that Central York defense. The coverage downfield was amazing. There was no open play. And again, you're seeing instant penetration into the defense. So when Pfizer rolls out, whether he rolls out or just drops back or is in shotgun, by the time he gets the ball, there's someone in his face. So they have to shore up those leaks in the offensive line.
Pfizer. 3rd possession, he's had the punt. Getting it on the run is Simpson. Simpson full speed ahead, and guys, both of you being at Alabama State, Archie, Jerome being at Shippensburg, both of you love when you get that ball, both of your return specialists, you get that ball in that bounce like that full speed ahead, and sometimes that usually means 6. Shotgun Purpula, 2 possessions resulted in touchdowns. Last drive, 3 plays, 18 yards. And they scored with a short field. So 2 possessions, first possession, 5 plays, 60-yard drive, capped off by Tyler Wright Rawls. He has 2 touchdowns already, Purpula 2, both to Wright Rawls. And it'll bring up a 2nd down in 10.
And that was the first pass that Pabula threw that seemed off. He was a little far ahead of Toom on that play, and that could have been 6 as well. But good coverage on the back end from Red Lions.
Pabula, shotgun. Sturgis to give, and coming up making a great play at linebacker position. One of the things we've seen, like on this defensive side of the Red Lions, we've seen Devontae Dennis. We've seen some of these guys. Devontae Dennis is 6'6", 211 on the defensive side.
And that's just good defense coming up, getting penetration, and giving Central York a little bit of what they've been giving out to Red Lions. So again, 3rd and 13, you have to get off the field if you're Red Lions defense to give your offense a shot.
Coming back, catch, left side, running full speed is Tome. Judah Tome, they're very talented in that receiver in the specialty core right here tonight with Central York. And now we've got the waning seconds of the first quarter. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Central York Gilkin over the play. Gary Janczyk is the new head coach coming in Central York, and he really is established coach, but he really has a nice team and core. This is a great situation to come into as a new first-year head coach at Central York. Not new to football, obviously, but coming into having this opportunity to have these seniors in this quarterback. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. We'll have more action, second quarter action, coming up here from Central York after these messages.
The Jet Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 4 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Genesis of York, and Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover. The Giambalvo family dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale. Giambalvo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 4 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
At OSS Health, we offer orthopedic care you can trust. Award-winning for quality and safety, OSS Health will get you back to reaching. Swinging. Rocking. And trailblazing. Keep following your passions. We'll help.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
Welcome back, 4th and 1, big play for Central York Panthers. Ball spotted on the 30. Pabula. They took their time. They took the timeout. A good call on that timeout, just to kind of think about it. And let's see what they have drawn up here. They're going to go twins left, single receiver to the right. Sturgis is the lone back. They're going to go under center. Pabula's going to keep it. And like we said, he's been very effective on his feet. And Central York's Pabula, the boys believe it. Look where the spot is.
Yeah, I think he got it. And again, this Central York offense is really doing what they need to do to move the ball. And they moved the half by running the ball. The half or the quarter went real fast. But you talk about coaching. Josh Oswald was the coach for Central York and ended up going to Cumberland Valley, and that's back home for him. So he takes his talent there to see if they can bring Cumberland Valley back up to their how good and dominant they used to be. But he did such a good job with the Central York program, and now you have Janczyk. He's able to come in and take over an established program and now put his stamp on this program as well. So you see Central York really coming along as a program, and they want to take it to the next level so that they compete with those mid-pen teams when they play them.
Well, Pabula picks up the first down. Sturgis to his right. Far split is right Rawls. He's rolling right, looking for him the whole time. Pass incomplete. intended receiver Parker Hines, the sophomore, drops it.
And again, I have to say, Prabula is showing some accuracy. He only had one ball that was kind of off for him. It was a little overthrown. But other than that, he's been pretty solid today, throwing the ball, and he's running and guiding the offense perfectly.
Yeah, he's 5 for 6 for 71 yards and 2 TDs right now. So 2 possessions, both resulting in touchdowns for Wright Rawls. This is the 3rd possession. Give Sturgis running hard, finding room. Over the 25.
And junior Jake Bradley came up and made an amazing tackle. I really like that kid last year, and I think he's definitely a talent on that side. He has a big job today on both sides of the ball.
Little receiver split left. Prabula has to get rid of it. It's going to be a drop ball thrown to Kyle Fontes, the defensive end, tight end. Plays both ways, defense and offense. He'll drop it. And Prabula had to get rid of it pretty quickly. And I don't know that he was completely set, but he does have a decent arm and was able to get it and hit 13 in the numbers.
And he has to catch that ball. I mean, Fontes has to bring that in. That's a first down and maybe even a touchdown.
Yeah, there was no one. I tell you what, he was wide open in that middle, Archie. I mean, it didn't look like the coverage was there.
One thing we're starting to see, though, Red Line is making them run more plays. It's not the 1, 2, 3 hitters. They're actually starting to settle down now. They have come out. There's one thing that we go back when we go to the sideline, and the coaches are asking, hey, what do you guys see out there? What do you guys see out there? Second half, these guys have adjusted. They know what they're seeing, and we're going to see a better play. We're talking about a team that has over 86 years of football, 21 championships. So it's known for great football there, man. These players are going to sit down, and they're going to be able to come out, and then they're young.
And they were 6-4 last year, so this is not a team that just laid down for anyone when they play.
Review Presley's design play. Wright Rawls has no one in front. I mean, he's going to go an untouched touchdown for 6. Rawls his 3rd touchdown, 3 possessions resulting in 3 touchdowns for the Central York Panthers. And you mentioned, just as we talked about in pregame, I mean, you really can't give them short fields. You can't make mental mistakes. This team comes back to hurt you. Take a look at it.
Well, guys, this is a great call right here. This is a great. You got your lineman down the field. This is a tackle and a guard that is leading your receiver down the field. It was a great call right here and a great execution.
2-point conversion, trying to get that point after miss. Prabula's going to keep it on his feet. He's going to scramble. The 2-point conversion is good. Central York 20, Red Lion nothing. And man, oh man, right now, I mean, it's hard to feel that complete excitement without the crowd, but we're going to be right back. We're glad you're tuning in with us. Stay tuned. More after these messages.
CCA field trips make learning come alive.
Welcome back. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Prabula to Wright for the 3rd time. And I mean, we talked about that play call being a beautiful play call. There was no one in a white jersey anywhere close to that play. And Archie, you talked about it. He had full steam ahead, and he had some big bodies in front of him, and they made that one look pretty easy.
Yeah, and again, you know, if you're Red Line, you don't want the same thing that happened last year, and that's exactly what's happening. Mental mistakes that are hurting you, offside penalties, you're going backwards, too much penetration, and now you almost cough off a ball on the kickoff to give Central York the ball probably within the red zone if they would have recovered it, but it looks like you'll keep the ball. And again, when you're in a situation like this, you just have to establish your offense. So Archie talked about it the pregame. How ready are teams when they're starting to play at every level? We saw that with Navy 2 weeks ago against BYU. They didn't tackle at all, and then they got into the game against BYU, and BYU ran through them like they weren't even there. So that preparation, which is no one's fault. It's not a coach's fault. It's not a parent's fault. It's not a player's fault. It's just the circumstances dealing with the COVID situation and how things have changed. So it's going to take some time for these players to get adjusted for some teams.
That last drive was an 8-play, 37-yard drive, capped off with a 29-yard TD pass for Beulah to Wrights Rawls, his third touchdown of the night, for Beulah's third passing. Pfizer and the Red Lions, second down and 12. They're faced with backed up in their own side the whole night, and really, I mean, it's just allowing the pursuit, Archie, and the defense that can do what they want right now.
I mean, as you can see, Central York knows what they're going to see. These guys, one thing with them being down and not being able to actually physically practice, a lot of these guys went through all of the film from the teams that they played last year. So that is going to up their intensity on defense because they already know what they're going to see. We're already prepared. These guys have been practicing. They're prepared for what they're going to see. But like we've been talking about, one thing you can't insinuate, and that is a game style at practice because you'll only get that at a game.
Right. The only way to get the game is be into the fire of the game. And I think that's mentioned well here tonight. Heavy dominated, senior dominated Central York Panther team. Red line, Randy Pfizer going into the huddle. 2nd and 17.
And again, another penalty puts them back again. So they're once again for the third or fourth drive, they're behind the chains, and that puts them in a difficult situation because their play calling is different.
Pfizer right side, chase down, backside. Trenton Dunning, the defensive end, 220 pounds, a 6'2" junior coming to make that tackle, and it was read well and chased down. Bradley really didn't have it. Jake Bradley did not have a chance. He's 6'3", 187-pound junior. Pfizer looking on the sidelines to get the play. Pfizer even mentioned earlier in media day just the fact that he was excited about coming into this game playing quarterback, and I like that out of a leader. When you have a leader, when you have a leader, you got to have the ball in his hands. Am I right, guys? And really, I mean, you got to like a kid who goes, "Hey, I know we need this." And he says he's in a long tradition of good quarterbacks at Redline through the years, and we've seen a lot of them. And he wants to do this position well. Pass is going to be picked off. Backside wrong throw, Victor Pena. Pena taking it almost to the 5, to the 4. Thought maybe it might be a pick 6, and he just slipped back into that coverage.
Yeah, and we talk about the quarterback position for Redline, and you see Pfizer phase back, and I think he stared down the receiver too much, too long, and the defensive player was just able to make a play. And even if he didn't get it, the safety was right there. But he's taken over for Nick Schultz from last year. And Nick Schultz had a very, very good year. He had 1,300 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, and then he had 739 yards on the ground with another 3 touchdowns. That's a lot of production from your quarterback that you lost. So Pfizer has a lot of big shoes to fill today.
From the 5 in the end zone, DeWitt. And that Raquel DeWitt just made it look pretty easy from the 5 to get a short field, a real short field actually, and touchdown Central York.
And what made it a short field? You had a kickoff return that was a bobbled kickoff return. Then you had a penalty which backs them up, and then an interception. So really, that was you got the ball in the red zone, and bam, 2 plays later you're in the end zone.
Boy, DeWitt looks like a great running back. I mean, that's his first carry of the night, results into a touchdown. Dunnick with the hold. Luckenball with a point after. It's up, it's good. 27-0. Central York in full control here on their first Friday Night Football. We'll be back with more after these messages.
HOFFMAN Ford wants to trade keys with you. That's right. Give us the keys to your current vehicle, and we'll get you into a brand new Ford with great offers, like up to $13,500 off MSRP on a new Ford F-150 XLT 4x4, or 1.9% financing up to 60 months, plus $9,000 off MSRP. And get top dollar for all trades, no matter what it is. Let's trade keys at HOFFMAN Ford.
HOFFMAN has it.
HOFFMAN Ford, just what you're looking for. HOFFMAN has it.
Well, everything going right as you see the band shaking and moving tonight. They're allowed to be in the stadium. Fans, parents, really it's tough right now, I think, to have a student athlete playing football right now, guys, in this pandemic. And we are all, like, the fact that we're even having an opportunity even to present this game tonight with PCN, we thank them for that as well. and as well as ABC 27 to bring this Friday Night Football state matchup for you. 26-0. Central is just really yard-wise, just outdoing it all, 137 and they yards. Total offense to Red Lions 7. So really that's the score is an indication of just short fields and some mistakes being made mentally by Red Lion.
I mean, one thing you can see is, you guys are going to keep hearing me saying this, is it is 10 seniors that is starting on this defense. They only have one junior that's playing. So these guys have game time and a lot of games up under their belt. You have 2 seniors that's at corner. And don't forget, Bo Pabila was the starting safety last year.
Yeah, they had Bo Pabila. He did hurt his shoulder, kind of hit his shoulder, tweaked his shoulder a little bit in that last game. But we said his numbers last year, 5 for 8 for 117 total yards, and he had 57 rushing, 3 TDs. And the game got out of hand, much like what we're seeing at this particular moment. Pfizer starting at quarterback this evening.
And Pfizer's having a rough go of it. I mean, he's definitely needing some help from that team, offensive line, and mistakes. And again, we're going to expect some of those, but at the same time, you got to get something going. So you're at 2nd and 9. You're still on top of the chains. You don't want any penalties or anything. Let's see if you can move the ball.
Shotgun formation. This is where Pfizer's effective on his feet. But what a great tackle, guys. Both of you being corners and safeties, and you guys lined up in a lot of different spots in your college career. The pursuit to the ball right now, these guys are playing like many of these guys I see playing at that next collegiate level.
Well, the game today is the offensive coordinator creates so many plays to be able to win those situations right there. So the greatest coverage and tacklers that you can see one-on-one open field tackle is what raises your game as a defensive back.
And Wright Rawls, he played that brilliantly. You just come up, you shed the block, those stalk blocks from the receiver, you shed the block, come up and make a sound tackle, and that's exactly what he did. Good play.
Wright Rawls, who already has 2 touchdowns on the night. Left side movement, ball's going to pop out. It's going to be a loose ball. Central York's going to recover it around the 19. Make it the 20-yard line. And it's going to stay because that went against the line. I thought I saw flags on the field here, fellas.
It was a legal motion. I think the receiver headed upfield before the ball was snapped.
So there's a legal motion. Take a look at it again. Who gets in there and pops the ball out? And that's Trenton Dunning. That kid plays a strong defensive spot. I'm telling you right now, if you're coming in here tonight, and you know, Archie, I know you see football all over as well as Jerome does. You see football in the South. I mean, you're a recruiter coming in here tonight. You've got your pick at some guys right now. You're trying to get on your list.
One thing you see all of the guys. One thing, I'm watching their technique. I'm watching the hunger. I'm watching their aggression. These guys are still playing, like it's not COVID. To them, it's not. It's a football game.
Pabula over the top, touchdown, Wright Rawls. I mean, you can't really kind of get even a breath here before Central York strikes. It's right now they're playing fun catch, pass and catch, like unbelievable. Wright Rawls beats the corner, touchdown, and take a look at it.
And this is just a mismatch. I think right now there's no pressure on Pabula, number one. Number two, Wright Rawls, there's not a matchup out there that's able to hang with him. So Pabula's putting it on the money. Wright Rawls is running by corners and just picking the ball out of the air. Pitch and catch.
2-point conversion, rolling left. Pabula showing what he has on his legs. He's going to come right back to his right side, looking down the field, and believe it or not, it's going to be caught for the 2-point conversion. DeWitt comes back to get it. He has a touchdown tonight and a 2-point conversion. And Archie, that whole play there just shows the athletic ability and why Penn State's recruiting him.
Yes, sir. He is as advertised.
HOFFMAN Ford wants to trade keys with you. That's right. Give us the keys to your current vehicle, and we'll get you into a brand new Ford with great offers, like up to $13,500 off MSRP on a new Ford F-150 XLT 4x4, or 1.9% financing up to 60 months, plus $9,000 off MSRP. And get top dollar for all trades, no matter what it is. Let's trade keys at HOFFMAN Ford.
HOFFMAN has it. HOFFMAN Ford, just what you're looking for. HOFFMAN has it.
Well, you see the score, not much more to say about that. A 22-yard hookup again from Pabula to Wright's Rawls, and they just make it look easy. They have 3 touchdowns amongst each other tonight already. 2 two-point conversions actually converted here by the Central York Panthers, and they have the lead, commandingly 34-0. Coming up at halftime, folks, please stick around for our Jack Giambalvo halftime report, our AT&T and Giant halftime stats, and our Capital Region first half highlights. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank United Rental for their rental in our end zone lift this evening for support of high school football here on PCN and ABC 27. Thank you, United Rentals. First down and 10, 34-0, Red Lion. Pfizer, and there is that. I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm a little afraid of heights, and you know me. I don't like snakes. I don't like heat, and I don't like heights. But man, TJ's down there. Cameraman always doing his thing on that United Rental lift, and you know it's safe, but man, I just can't get up there, fellas. That's why I don't do roller coasters. Hershey Park for me is all about the food.
And again, I mean, you know, back to the game, right now, Redline is having a difficult time just establishing any offense right now. So, you know, again, they're not firing off the ball. A lot of miscues, mistakes, and Central York is at a different place right now. I think the preparedness of that team is very different. And again, if you're Redline, you just want to establish a drive and just ignore the score, establish a drive, and then see what you can do from there. So that's what they have to be, is try to be dialed in for this drive and this drive only right now.
Weiser looking down the field, and that ball is overthrown. His intended receiver is Naimiki, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and 9 is going to bring up. Man, Wright Rawls 94 for 93. I mean, if we're playing fantasy football, he's a receiver you want to go into. And 93 yards tonight.
And 3 touchdowns to go with it.
3 TDs.
So between the two of them, I mean, your quarterback and receiver, they're in sync, totally in sync right now. And Redline hasn't been able to find an answer for that combination.
Pfizer shotgun formation, going to send Bradley in motion. Twins over to the right, looking right side. They've gone there a couple times at Bradley, and there's just nowhere to go. Coming up to make the tackle, several. But I like the pursuit you saw out of Carter Glassmeyer on the tackle.
Yeah, I mean, the sideline to sideline passes and run plays aren't really effective right now because of the speed of the Central York defense. They're flowing to the ball, and they're playing jacked. I mean, these guys are flying around. They're trying to beat who's the next person to make the play. So it's just not effective at this moment for Redline.
Pfizer's punt's going to be downed by Sargent on that play, and again, a short field. They're getting to play like Archie back in our old arena football days when you played for the Stampede and many other teams that coached them at arena. When you get that short field like that time after time, I mean, these guys will make you hurt. Reveal arm alone.
One thing these guys are going to do, and as any other football player out there, same as with Redline, these guys are going to keep playing, because if I'm a coach right now, I'm just telling my guys, hey, let's just keep playing play by play, and let's just continue to get better.
5:56 to play here in the second quarter. First and 10. Got this bunch, got split out far to your left is Wright's Rawls. And I'm loving what I see out of DeWitt. DeWitt coming in, his first carry was a touchdown. He has a 2-point conversion in moving the ball there. Really just a nice runner, strong, physical. He's 5'9", 190, the senior, so he's getting an opportunity here to carry a little bit. It's a nice dose of running game here in this 4th possession for Central York. Again, carry to DeWitt.
And before those 2 plays, and this shows you the field position situation for Central York, they're up 34-0, and they only had 152 yards of offense. So that tells you where their starting position has been, and they've had total control of field position. So they're getting the ball. That was probably the farthest start they had.
It was
to any drive and it's still good field position.
And Jerome, you're exactly right. That's the first time they had the ball that wasn't one play from the red zone.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the tell of the tell here in the game, guys. It's short fields, and you know, again, I mean, Central York. We know what they do, the domination they've had in the last couple of years in the York Adams League. They're showing it here tonight. 2nd and 8, Perbula. Give to DeWitt. DeWitt straight forward. Bradley trying to run him down from the backside as hard as he can, brings him down with some help.
One thing about Jake Bradley, he is everywhere. He is letting these guys know that he is going to play to the end. He's making tackles. He's also receiving and catching the ball on offense, but he is trying to be a playmaker for his team.
Yeah, he's physical. He gets after it. He really is. I mean, we've seen 6 all over that field tonight. He's playing offense both ways. 3rd and 5, 3:55 before half. Fans coming up at halftime. Jack Giambalvo halftime report. Stay tuned for our AT&T and Giant halftime stats. Our Capital Region first half highlights. DeWitt, right side.
And you don't see any quitting that red line defense, but you know how I like to definitely showcase some big guys. And looking at that tackle for Central York, Josh Gaffney, 6'4", 310 pounds, anchoring that offensive line. Good looking prospect right there for sure. I can tell you that. And he's a senior, so you know I'll be looking at seeing what his future looks like coming out. But that line is really exerting their dominance in this game from the beginning. But again, red line has to take it play by play and not think about the score at all.
Yeah, Gaffney and Stroney up front. Big left side, down the sideline, in the end zone, touchdown. Central York, put your head down, lift it up. Judah Tome goes sideline, touchdown, really untouched. And I mean, for one split second, to look down, look up, touchdown, Central York.
I mean, one thing, these guys are, you can tell them they're in rhythm right now. And that was one thing as a coach I'm telling my team, guys, let's go out here and create a rhythm. Everybody is behind. Nobody had a significant gain than the other team, because guess what? Everybody started practice at the same exact time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you got to go with talent, but then you have to go with what you were able to do, and the COVID dictated that too.
Luckenball's point after is good. We'll be right back with more right after these messages.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
Welcome back. 27-yard TD pass by Perbula, hooking up this time with Judah Tome, the 6'1" senior. And the band sparks it on here for the Panthers tonight. 6-play drive, 49 yards. The time of possession is only 2 minutes and 54 seconds. And guys, really, that was the longest field Central York's had all night.
Yeah, and they're able to still quick strike red line. And right now, Perbula's putting on a clinic. I mean, this is a clinic for him. He's not getting any pressure in his face at all, whether he rolls out or gets it in the shotgun. And the offense is just rolling right now the way they want to. And pretty much picking up where they left off last year.
Ball bobbled. By Nymeke. Nymeke's going to get dragged down pretty hard. Central York's pursuit and coverage very well played there. Seth Griffiths comes up to make the tackle.
Yeah, the whole kick coverage team was on the tackle.
Yeah, I think you can count the helmets. There were double digits on that tackle.
You can see the love and you see the joy of just still being able to run out here on the greens again, guys. Not golf greens, but what we call the football greens.
Football greens, and no doubt about it. You know, Archie, I know when we talked about coming in here, and we've got to do this, we've been privileged enough to call some great games on Friday nights in these past 13 years. And really not knowing that uncertainty of not knowing what that season is, but we still have this here tonight. Pfizer, shotgun formation. looks to fake the quick pitch. Rolling left side, he's going to be tackled, tangled, and really not to be messed with. Coming up to make that great play, number 66, Logan Becker for Central York.
Yeah, just nowhere to run on that play. You know, Pfizer's trying to make something happen. Again, he doesn't have a lot of time to do anything. The hole opens and closes almost immediately. But again, you talk about being able to bring football. You know, I know the fans at home, whether you're Red Line or whether you're Central York, you want to be here, and I know they want to be here. So our hope is that you can sit back, have your popcorn, you know, your wings or whatever, and watch your child play or your friend play, and we can bring that to you, and we're very excited to do that.
Man, Jerome, Archie, he starts talking about wings and popcorn. I'm sitting here and I got some water to eat, man. You can't do that to me here. Left side.
Yeah, you can,
coverage.
It's definitely different. All the perks of that the high school football atmosphere brings. You remember, different. We always like to smell the food in the air. You know, one thing that is consistent though, that this band, you know, you can still hear the high school band. They are playing hard. They're energizing their team. You can tell that they're happy to be in here, and I hope that the parents at home are just happy to, just like you said, Jerome, to watch their kid, especially this team that's full of seniors.
3rd and 7 for Pfizer. Single receiver left, hit 3 right. Give up front, and not much to do, and just completely just swarmed is Reed Anderson by a host of orange jerseys. And one of the things too we talked about, it's just that eeriness of coming into the stadium tonight, not quite feeling that liveness of a Friday night game with all the students, and mostly I'd say for myself, missing to just see the students and the excitement that students bring to a game is one of those things lacking here a little bit tonight. But we want to thank Central York and Red Lion for this opportunity here on PCN and ABC 27 for giving us opportunity to bring this game forward here. Punt up. This is going to drive back, take a bounce. Will he pick it up? He's going to let it roll across the 30. And maybe a good decision. I know you guys are always being aggressive. Simpson gets out of the way of it for Central York.
That was a good punt.
Yeah, that was a good punt. And for the first time tonight, I mean, you're going to actually have Central York semi-pinned in their own territory. So they're going to have to drive the long field. The problem has been that Central York has been so quick strike. They've been able to score in every way possible.
40 seconds here before half. Coming up is our Jack Giambalvo halftime report. AT&T Giant halftime stats, Capital Region first half highlights, so stick with this. Sturgis, right side. Don't settle for just a few highlights for your high school football coverage. Watch the best football matchups from across the state on PCN. It's every Friday night, 7 p.m. Stay up to date on the schedule at PCNTV.com. 2nd and 9, 20 seconds, maybe last play of the half. Perbulo, backside and runs right into, man, I tell you what, Zach Paraway was right there, and it just kind of the play looked like it was doomed from the start, fellas. And that's probably the only thing we've seen go wrong for Central York so far.
I tell you, that looked like it could have been a disaster for Central York, because I'm telling you, Perbulo had no idea what was behind him when he turned. And again, he's looking downfield, goes through reads and nothing, and then all of a sudden he runs right into big number 23 and is able to, you know, it ended up being a situation where, you know, hey, it's a sack and it goes down as that, but that could have been dangerous.
Well, stay tuned. It's halftime, 41-0 Central York. We'll have our Jack Giambalvo halftime report, AT&T Giant halftime stats, and our Capital Region first half highlights coming right up after these messages.
HOFFMAN Ford wants to trade keys with you. That's right. Give us the keys to your current vehicle, and we'll get you into a brand new Ford with great offers, like up to $13,500 off MSRP on a new Ford F-150 XLT 4x4, or 1.9% financing up to 60 months, plus $9,000 off MSRP. And get top dollar for all trades, no matter what it is. Let's trade keys at HOFFMAN Ford.
HOFFMAN has it. HOFFMAN Ford, just what you're looking for. HOFFMAN has it.
CCA field trips make learning come alive.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stellar Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
At OSS Health, we offer orthopedic care you can trust. Award-winning for quality and safety, OSS Health will get you back to reaching. Swinging, rocking, and trailblazing. Keep following your passions. We'll help.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
We're juggling a lot, so finding time for each other can be pretty tough. Being able to come together at the table to eat and laugh is just fulfilling to our souls.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor, featuring Case Construction, paves the way for your project from start to finish. With 6 locations, Groff Tractor is always nearby your equipment needs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Well, welcome back, 41-0 Central York, and we're going to take a look at our Jack Giambalvo this halftime report, and taking just as we look at halftime right now. I just want to take you inside. First of all, your defensive coordinator, you're on that Red Lion sideline, and you've got to find some way to muster some stops. What are you talking to your team about?
Hey, I'm telling my guys, hey, let's settle down. We've seen what they're going to do. We know what they're going to do. Don't get discouraged, guys. Keep your head up. Let's keep fighting. That's what we're always going to do. You're still a football player at the end. We still got 2 more quarters. We still got enough time to be able to come out here and get ready to build. But as a defensive coordinator, I want to see something, okay? Even if it's a sack, if it's a deflection, even as if a tackle for a loss. I want to see my players go out here and play harder, play with more effort, and play with the will to not to quit, because we didn't come here to lay down today, and we're going to fight all the way until the end.
And Jerome, I'm going to take it just really ask you, I mean, at what point, up 41-0, do you start talking about maybe mixing some different players in? I mean, are you going to keep the ball out of the air, keep it on the ground? I mean, you're the offensive coordinator of Central York right now, keeping people healthy?
Yeah, I at this point would consider starting to bring some new players into the game. I mean, you're up 41-0. You have nothing to prove. Your stars have done what they needed to do. The only thing would be you may want to get one more drive to get you ready for the next game and to keep your timing where it needs to be.
Exactly.
But other than that, you want to start getting your guys out of the game. And again, this is how you build a program, is you start getting the experience in live game action of those younger guys in games. So this will give you an opportunity. You don't get many blowouts in a season to be able to do that. So when you have it, you take advantage of it and get those guys on the field, and then before you know it, they're the seniors, they're the leaders, and they have this experience that, it's great for them moving forward.
Well, let's take a look at our Capital Region 1 halftime highlights. The game was all about the Central Panthers, York Panthers in this first half. They had 4 possessions, 4 straight scores. Perbulo is going to hook up to Wright Rawls here early. Wright Rawls gets in the secondary, beats very effectively Namaki, and it's a touchdown. Then it's this constant pursuit out of that Central York Panther defense. Perbulo here rolling to his left. We've seen designs left, hits right at the pylon, Wright Rawls. That's his second touchdown, teaming up for it. Perbulo here. Give to Sturgis, and that was one of our better plays out of Bowman, the linebacker for Red Lion. And then right here, this is the untouched Wright Rawls touchdown. He had really 4 catches, 93 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first half. And then Pfizer, who we said, talked about it, pitching in at quarterback from the receiver spot, throws the pick 6, and Victor Pena takes it down to the 5, setting Perbulo up right here to give to DeWitt. DeWitt marches into the end zone. That was his first carry, results into a touchdown. Perbulo coming back, looking over the top to Wright Rawls in his hands, making it look easy. And again, take a look at this play, showing the athletic ability out of the Penn State recruit, coming back for the 2-point conversion, and teams up with DeWitt, and they weren't done there. Untouched down the sideline. They've got a lot of weapons. Tome, Judea, Tome, touchdown. The senior walks into the end zone, gets out on the track a little bit, does a dance, and that's where we were at 41-0. We're going to have much more for you here at halftime coming up on our Jack Giambalvo halftime report. Stay tuned. More after these messages.
At OSS Health, we offer orthopedic care you can trust. Award-winning for quality and safety, OSS Health will get you back to reaching. Swinging, rocking, and trailblazing. Keep following your passions. We'll help.
I got the phone call that every parent dreads. Our beautiful 19-year-old daughter Peyton had died. Sudden cardiac arrest had ended her precious young life. This #1 killer of student athletes and leading cause of death on school campuses attacked our family. Many heart conditions that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest aren't found during routine physicals. That's why the Peyton Walker Foundation provides free heart screenings for teens. Help prevent sudden cardiac arrest in your family. Visit PeytonWalker.org.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
Well, welcome back to our Jack Giambalvo halftime report and our AT&T Giant halftime. We've got some big plays that happened tonight and a lot of excitement, but all on one side. Central York 41-0, and it was all Central York from the get-go. And you know, when you look at this stat board, I mean, it is so lopsided, so obviously lopsided. And many times as this band kept striking it up tonight, they are literally, really, if you think about it, that band's had to do a lot more playing because there's a lot more in the end zone. Take a look at our presented by Giant, our halftime stats. Literally that 11 first downs to that 1 first down and that -8. Guys, what's standing out to you?
I mean, for me, it's two total yards for Redline, and that just shows you that they've been going backwards pretty much the entire game. And that 5 for 31 in the penalty area for them, because so not only are they struggling to gain yardage, they're going backwards, and you can't win games when you're in situations like that.
And another thing, you see the 11 first downs to 1 first down, and the big one is the negative passing yards to 149 passing yards. That negative results in comes from sacks.
And 193 in the total yards. We want to thank Travis Sparks, our statistician tonight, for being part of this week after week for us on Friday nights, and he does an excellent job. Not bad on the penalty side for Central York, 1 for 5. It's like they're 5 games into the season, and normally we are several games into the season when it's not the pandemic season. But presented by Giant was our halftime stats, and you can see the lopsided side of that, and that is really enough said. If you'd like to rewatch this game and more of PCN's Games of the Week on demand, stream at PCNTV.com and at the PCM app. And this game will also, these weekly matchups, will continually be there on Friday nights with PCN. And we also thank ABC 27 for bringing this as well to us. Tonight, we'll be back with more for the third quarter action, 41-0 Central York.
At OSS Health, we offer orthopedic care you can trust. Award-winning for quality and safety, OSS Health will get you back to reaching. Swinging, rocking, and trailblazing. Keep following your passions. We'll help.
An average day in our household is really crazy.
We're juggling a lot, so finding time for each other can be pretty tough. Mealtime definitely brings us together.
Being able to come together at the table to eat and laugh is just fulfilling to our souls.
Bon appetit.
That's the time that we have together in this crazy world that is family.
CCA field trips make learning come alive.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Well, if you're enjoying this matchup, we're coming back September 25th, next Friday, Northern York and the East Penn Panthers. That's a great game. I like what we got here in Stilton, Middletown, that old-fashioned matchup, and then we're going to come back to McDevitt, Cedar Cliff, October 9th. So stay tuned. Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency bringing us Friday night games for your liking. The fact that we have this season, we're still tickled to death. Also, would like to take this opportunity to thank United Rentals for that lift that they have us on in the end zone. United Rentals and teams like them teaming up to bring high school football live on Friday nights.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about those games, Todd.
Don't just settle for just a few highlights for your high school football coverage. Watch the best football matchups from across the state on PCN every Friday at 7 p.m. Stay up to date on the schedule at PCNTV.com. And Jerome, as we come back to our Giant and Jack Giambalvo halftime report, we've been part of a lot of games, and I mean, you're never really out of a game, but I know we were talking kind of off camera, just like to see, just for the positive aspect of things, Red Line getting some things going here in the second half.
I mean, and again, they cannot think of the score at this point. They have to establish some type of offense, if anything, just to slow down this Central York team. So if they can try to, we've said it throughout, trying to establish play after play to gain positive yards. And the big thing, not hurt themselves with penalties and going backwards, because you keep giving Central York the short field, they keep making you pay for it. So at this point, can't look at the score. You have to move forward, try to establish some kind of offense, and then who knows? Once you have some success tends to breed more success. So you got to get that early success first. And right now, their yardage is putrid. They have no yards right now moving the ball, and they're just going backwards.
Yeah, 2+ total yards. And the band striked up playing a lot here tonight to give us that same Friday night feel. You talk about short field and spacing, and we even have to worry about a little bit in our telecast.
Yeah.
My brother, I feel like I'm so far away from you. I don't know. I miss what we have. I will say that. I can feel that space in between. 41-0 Central York. More third quarter action coming right up here on PCN ABC 27 after these messages.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 4 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Genesis of York, and Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover. The Giambalvo family dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale. Giambalvo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 4 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
CCA field trips make learning come alive.
HOFFMAN Ford wants to trade keys with you. That's right. Give us the keys to your current vehicle, and we'll get you into a brand new Ford with great offers, like up to $13,500 off MSRP on a new Ford F-150 XLT 4x4, or 1.9% financing up to 60 months, plus $9,000 off MSRP. And get top dollar for all trades, no matter what it is. Let's trade keys at HOFFMAN Ford.
HOFFMAN has it. HOFFMAN Ford, just what you're looking for. HOFFMAN has it.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over 25 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
Welcome back to Central York Stadium here tonight. Third quarter action. It's 41-0. And really just thinking positively wise, if you're a Red Line fan, just see if they could get some things going. You might see some really some substitution in that Central York side of things and see if you're going to rotate some more players in through, and maybe this just gives you an opportunity to kind of, for Red Line to get some things going positively. And Jerome, you're probably telling your team, if you're Red Line right now, you're telling your fellas like, hey, one play at a time. And what else you tell them in the huddle?
That's pretty much it, is one play at a time. And one of the things that Archie talked about, which I think makes a lot of sense too, is really challenging your players to you want to see their heart, man. You want to see them not quit on each other and not quit on themselves. So I think you're hyping them up the best you can and just saying, ignore the score. Let me see some hitting. Let me see some contact. It's out of hand as far as the score. Let's not focus on the score. Let's win this play. And that's what the focus is.
Exactly. I'm looking at my young guys. I mean, who wants to play right now? I'm trying to find a player. I got 11 spots out here. I'm trying to find a player who wants to play. And if I'm a young guy, it could be my opportunity to show them that I am ready for this stage right here. But this is a big task, and this is a great team for you to come up and show up against.
That's right, and that's what we'll see here as we go into the future. Ball picked up. DeWitt changes direction, goes across the 20, across the 25. And Central York will have the ball. We'll see what's coming out with the lineup, and we're seeing a few different changes, looks like, on the offensive line. We'll see if they're literally going back with Perbula at the quarterback spot or not.
Yeah, I mean, their starting offense is out there.
Everybody's there, yeah.
And like I said, you can go another series, and again, you still want to build on the momentum you have, so you want to make sure that you get the work needed for your team moving forward. It's not running up the score, it's getting that work. It's a football game, it's competition.
If you're just tuning in with us, you'll see the running clock, 11:36 to play. When the score's over 40, running clock in PIAA. Give to Sturgis. Sturgis finds a way to bounce outside and find something out of nothing, crossing the 30-yard line on his feet. Very effective run out of Sturgis. Taken down, tackled by Brock Holloway of Red Lion.
And if you're Red Lions defense, you had Sturgis bottled up, and for a loss, a significant loss, and he comes out of that for a positive gain, to get back to the line of scrimmage when you had him, or actually he ended up with 5, almost 6 yards on the play.
Shotgun formation, Perbula. Backside throw, hooking up to Kyle Fontes, the tight end, also defensive end specialist. Connect with PCN. Connect with you on your favorite social media platforms for sports and programming updates. Don't settle for just a few highlights for your high school football coverage. Watch the best football matchups from across the state on PCN every Friday at 7 p.m. Stay up to date on the schedule at pcntv.com. 10:30 to play, 1st and 6. Perbula, receiver split left, staggered right, give. Really a lot of room, cross the 50, 45 is Sturgis. And we've seen Sturgis, we've seen DeWitt come in the game. DeWitt came in the game, and they've got, when he came in the game, first carry results in a touchdown. They've got 2 really nice backs here, fellas.
Well, one thing you can see, you have a power back and a shifty guy. You can see him. This is our power back right here. And DeWitt is our more shifty guy, but they're both 5'9" and 190. That's the key note. And as a DB or a linebacker, those guys are built low to the ground, so they're real shifty and their legs are real strong. So you definitely want to get a good hold of those guys.
I'm sorry, Archie, you're right. And I think it's hard to pick these guys up as you first see them when you're lined up against them. You got some big offensive linemen on both sides, defensive linemen as well. These guys being low to the ground, man, they're center. They keep what I've seen tonight out of these backs, keeping their shoulders square. They run hard.
Yeah, and again, between the two, they're very similar in size, but they're very different in running style. So, you have DeWitt, who's more shifty and more north-south, and then you have Sturgis, who's that quick, electrifying back. So 2 backs, very similar size, but very different styles for this offense for Central York.
2nd and 10, Perbula. Plenty of time. 3-step, drop, across the middle, connected. And now he's finding beautifully, as well as he can, Kyle Fontes. Fontes playing both sides of the ball. Look at this, plenty of time, steps up, pocket, ball delivered, a little high, but Fontes went up and get it. And Archie, you talk about it, and I know Drum talks about it. You challenge your athletes, don't you? Perbula's not afraid to let his receivers go up and get balls.
I mean, you can see they've been working the outside, so you can tell that they're, like we talked about, planning their offense. We're going outside, so we got to be able to work the inside as well. So he got 2 studs on the outside of the receiver, and I have a 6'4" target that I can hit down the middle to move the chains.
And that was my best. I love that pass play better than any pass he threw. He cleared the linebackers and threw basically an accurate dart to his tight end where only his tight end 6'4" can get it.
Up the middle, right as we're talking, touchdown Sturgis. Fellas, we don't have a time to even hardly breathe. Running clock, 8:05, touchdown Sturgis, Central York. And that middle opened like the great sea. Man, I'm telling you, ran up there. Take a look at this offensive line clearing this hole. Shotgun, giving time, look, boom, not touched. One move right there, and he runs right by it. I'm not really sure why Brock Holloway didn't even come to make it, even an assessment of trying to make a tackle. Looking ball, the hold by Stroman. Ball down, looking ball's kick, point after is up and good, and we'll be back with more after these messages.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Welcome back. 8:04 to play here in the third quarter in Central York. And you hear that sound of the band. I'm telling you, it's bringing back just that feel of Friday night. We walked into the area and not seeing anybody, seeing our cheerleaders and our band playing, Panther band striking it up here tonight. High school football is alive and here, and Central York up commandingly 48-0. Oh, that's a dangerous, absolute dangerous play, special teams-wise. But you gotta like the aggressiveness, I guess, out of Reed Anderson. Probably something we talk about because I'm setting that last play, 7 plays, 75 yards, 356. But I'm sitting between two specialists here, especially return guys. Guys, he came up to try to make that in a crowd.
Well,
and
I mean, the problem is they're not attacking. They're not coming to the ball at all. So it's dropped. They're letting it drop in front of them, which is giving the kick covers time to cover the kick. So when you have a kickoff return, the sooner you get the ball, the sooner you can do something with it. You can't let it just drop in front of you. They've almost had several turnovers as a result of letting it drop in front of them.
Give in the tackle on the backside, Seth Griffiths. He's a 190-pound senior, 5'9". And Jerome, and Archie, you've mentioned it, just senior dominated defense. And Griffiths comes up and makes a nice play.
Hey, one thing about Seth Griffith, look, he's a 5'9" running back that is causing havoc at the D tackle. And one thing for the last 3 years of covering Central York, they always have a small, like, running back, fullback that causes havoc on the D line. And he plays D tackle. So imagine having a 5'9", 190 D tackle.
Pfizer, right side, and I thought we'd see more of this for the second half, guys. I think one of the things that can be effective for him is designed run plays. When you guys, I mean, even just some different opportunities to get him with the ball in his hands, almost like a running back.
Well, they've been trying to do that. They just haven't been able to be successful at it. They don't have enough protection up front and sound blocking. He doesn't have time to really do much with the ball. So he gets it, he goes north-south, he's only getting. I mean, that was probably one of the better gains he had today. But still, they're still having a hard time shoring up that offensive line with blocking it.
Yeah, Brown came up and made that last tackle on Pfizer. Pfizer up the middle, across the 40, and going to pick up a first down.
And that's what they needed. They needed an opportunity to get a first down. This is only their second first down of the game. So this was very important for them to get a first down and, again, try to build off of this and keep that Central York offense off the field right now.
Running clock, 1st and 10. 6:08 to play in the third quarter. Shotgun, Pfizer. Pfizer, little shift in the backfield. Reed Anderson on the carry on the right side. And a host of jerseys coming up and making that tackle is Dunnick. We called his name, number 6, in that orange jersey. We've always talked about how we've also liked the different uniforms down here in York, Adams, and Central York has some variations. They go all whites, the orange on orange, orange helmets. Remember the gold, almost goldish look sometimes when the light used to hit those helmets. Man, to be able to, guys, if we got to play high school football now and all the different uniforms, man, we were lucky. We were just happy that the jersey wasn't too tight, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a new day for uniforms nowadays.
2nd 9, left side. Making that tackle is Jack Smith and Archie. I mean, you know, I see a lot of players on both sides, and we talked about Red Lion being 6-4 last year. I mean, honestly, in a tough York Adams league with the York High Bearcats, Central York, there's some really tough, solid teams with very athletic conference down here. I don't think they'll be in terrible trouble. I mean, they went 6-4 last year.
I mean, if I'm Red Lion, this is a game that I wanted to start off with, to let my team, to let us know exactly where we at, to know that we can be able to do.
Pfizer left side, across the 30. Hold on to that statement. Just at the 12-yard line and out of bounds. And there is what you were talking about, Arch. There's an opportunity to get your athlete out in the field, get him going.
we're playing against a great Central York team. My guys, we're coming out in our first game. We're going to get better. He is reading this ball, and he does have another gear in him. So he's going to get better every game.
And you saw a really good read on the option that fooled that Central York defense. And he was able to get upfield, get north-south, and then just turn on the jets, which was impressive.
Jake Bradley with the carry on the right side. And the first red zone opportunity for Central York.
And now you're seeing this red line offense getting some real positive gains on first down, and that's huge. You know, if you can get 3-4 yards on first down as opposed to earlier in the game where they were starting possessions, you know, they get the second down, they're already at 2nd and 15. So this is a good start for them. And again, ignore the score. You know, let's put some points on the board right now.
2nd and 7. Twins right, single receiver left side for Pfizer. Jake Bradley tackled pretty much before he took one step. Seth Griffiths again. You like him, don't you, Archie? I mean, that kid is in pursuit, and he's moving, and he's getting to the ball before the snap almost.
Because guys like this is the guys that just do whatever the coach wants to do. Okay, if I'm not going to get that many carries on offense, what do you have for me to do on defense? Coach, you need me to be the nose guard? Okay, coach, I'll be the nose guard. I'll be the D tackle. I'll be a defensive end. As long as I can be on the field, and he's a senior as well, so he's contributing to his team.
And that's how you do it. Just getting your opportunities to play where you fit when you have a great team like Central York. Coming up to make that tackle is Carter Gassmere, 200 pounds, 6'2" senior, very good size as well. And that's going to bring up a 4th down for Red Line. 2:23 to play here in the third quarter with the running clock.
Well, we're seeing it, and I think this is important. Size means nothing if you don't have the heart to play it. You see or you don't have the skill set. So you may have a team that's huge and that's big, and a line that's big, and they're getting pushed around by guys half their size. So it's not, you know, especially at the high school level, some of your tougher kids are those kids that aren't the big ones, and those are the ones you got to worry about.
Pfizer. That ball's incomplete. Good sportsmanship there. Helping each other up off the field. We like to see that. Glassmere coming and offering the hand. So it'll be a takeover on downs for Central York.
And that's a hard one for this Red Line team. This was their best drive, best sustained drive. They had a couple of big plays in there as well. And you would have wanted to get in the end zone and get some points. And they weren't able to do that. But you have something to build on. That was a very, very good drive for them. And it kept that Central York offense off the field.
The Van striking up Sweet Caroline as Sturgis runs to the left side. Good times never felt so good until you have that lead that you have right now with Central York, so maybe appropriate song to be striking up here for the Panthers.
And another thing, Jerome, like you said, that offensive drive was against Central York's starting defense.
Yeah, and their number ones are still in the game right now for Central York. So they're still playing right now. And again, I would anticipate the fourth quarter maybe they'll take them out.
Well, Red Line had that last drive, 10 plays, 60 yards, resulted in no score. Given an opportunity here now for Central York is Jamar Simpson. He's the return specialist. He's getting the opportunity now in the backfield, and we're going to be in our maybe another play here in the third quarter.
So you're seeing those individual players coming in that are getting some run, and you know, right now you're just seeing Pabula hand the ball off. The offensive line loves this time because you just go forward and put blocks on people, open up some holes.
That might be it for the third quarter as it's wind down. And that was Simpson on the carry. His 2nd down and 8. Gabriel in the group looking over the sidelines are going to walk off here. That should be, like I said, the end of the third quarter as we have the running clock now with the mercy rule in effect with Central York up 48-0 here on PCN and ABC 27. You want to rewatch this game and more of PCN's Games of the Week on demand? Stream at PCNTV.com and the PCN app. That's going to end the third quarter, 48-0. We'll be right back at Central York with more after these messages.
HOFFMAN Ford wants to trade keys with you. That's right. Give us the keys to your current vehicle, and we'll get you into a brand new Ford with great offers, like up to $13,500 off MSRP on a new Ford F-150 XLT 4x4, or 1.9% financing up to 60 months, plus $9,000 off MSRP. And get top dollar for all trades, no matter what it is. Let's trade keys at HOFFMAN Ford.
HOFFMAN has it. HOFFMAN Ford, just what you're looking for. HOFFMAN has it.
An average day in our household is really crazy.
We're juggling a lot, so finding time for each other can be pretty tough. Mealtime definitely brings us together.
Being able to come together at the table to eat and laugh is just fulfilling to our souls.
Bon appetit.
Teach your children. That's the time that we have together in this crazy world that is family.
CCA field trips make learning come alive.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action. Central York will have the ball. Running clock. They'll have a 2nd and 4. Taking their time offensively here. Perbulo talking to his back to the right, looking to the Twins. On the right side. Looking downfield, has him wide open and overthrows the intended receiver Brown on the play. I mean, he looked right side. He lined up in that trips. Had him and just overthrew him. That's maybe one of the ill-advised or bad passes tonight.
Well, yeah, one of the few bad passes he's had, and it was just an overthrow, and sometimes that happens. You know, you get a little bit of air under it, and it goes from there. And you know, Perbulo has been, you know, so accurate throughout this game. I mean, he's only had maybe 2 miscues, and I will say I challenged him a little bit. Coming into this game, I wanted to see some star status from him, and I did. I mean, he's really showed what he can do, and he's come out. He's a different player than he was last year. You see the polished player as a passer, and that's what I was hoping to see, and that's what we got. And he has a really good receiver in Wright Rawls with him, so those two can really make some noise this year.
Now Yamaki on the return, and he was really literally didn't have much opportunity at Central York. Special teams wise too. I mean, you see the starters out there on special teams, much like what the Patriots used to do with Bill Belichick's teams, as he had a lot of his starters in special team situations, and these guys really cover very effectively.
Well, I mean, let's give credit to Redline to get that stop and get Central York off the field after going, getting close to scoring and then giving it up in the red zone, and then you get a chance to come down and play some solid defense and then get them off the field and get the ball back. And no more points for Central York. So good job for Redline.
And Archie, you think about that too. I mean, you know, shutouts they're hard to get in high school football. And you know, right now you're talking to your defense, who no matter who you put in there, it's like, hey, we want a shutout.
Exactly, and that's what you're telling your guys. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm slapping them on the hand, I'm slapping them on the butt, telling them guys, hey, that's a good job right there. You know, we want to build. I'm going into the film room. I'm not even showing the first half. I'm going to come out from this third quarter, and that's what we're going to build off going into next week.
You might know what time it is, Jerome and Archie. It is time. Jerome, I'll let you take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the hit parade, and that's what I live for, is to see some hits, solid hits. You get a receiver in the flat, corners coming up, cornerbacks coming up and laying the pipe. That's what I'm talking about. You come up and make a good hit on the play. Great pursuit by this Central York defense, and if you're going to bobble the ball, then best believe that somebody's coming in your face, and then you got the whole defense that comes on and makes a play for Central York. And you think you're going somewhere? Oh, no. You got the whole defense again. And you have so many hats around the ball for Central York. It's been so impressive. But quarterback, come on, Bo. You turn right into a brick wall, which could have been catastrophic. And you have Pfizer, the quarterback, on the other side. Think he's going to go somewhere, and he gets caught from behind. It's not happening today. Not today. Defense. Hit parade.
I'm sorry. I mean, I so love the enthusiasm. That what might have been Jerome Presley, bar none. Now, I've known you for a long time. You don't like to let anybody know how long we've known each other, but however, that might have been one of my favorite Invicta hit parades of all time. Jerome, sir, you continue to do a great job. And Archie, we got to give hats off to our man on the hit parade.
Yeah, I told him that was excellent right there.
Get hype, man. Who cares? COVID, no fans, you still play. And this with these boys are playing. And you saw Redline being down 48-0, they're still playing.
They're still driving the ball. We'll see here. We got a change in the quarterback in the red line. Look at this, going up across the 40-yard line. Didn't have an opportunity to let you know that Riley Knobb, the junior, is coming in. And hey, here might be an opportunity, Arch, that we start talking. Like for one thing, you got Randy Pfizer is a very great athlete. And can you bring in your junior quarterback, maybe give him an opportunity to get your athlete out somewhere differently?
This is the guys that's sitting in halftime when the coach is telling them, hey, guys, we need somebody to be ready to come up and step and play. Young guys, you guys are going to get your chance right here. They're going to give them the whole 4 quarters. So we have the twos versus the twos right now. This is how you find your depth. This is where you find your guys who really want to come and showcase right here.
Now we got another opportunity for a new situation quarterback, and that's Tyree Spence. Spence gives. He's going to actually keep it himself.
And the only thing there was a little bit of indecision that took place on the option play. He needed to make a quicker decision, and could have done some really good with it. But a good positive gain again for this Redline team.
So Tyree Spence comes out. He's a junior coming back in at quarterback. It's kind of like quarterback by committee here for Redline, Riley Knobb. And you know what? This is a great decision by the coaching staff of Redline, mixing a couple different guys in here in his 4th quarter with this running clock. 2nd and 8. Knobb. Long cadence. Give. Right side. Ricard taken down, tackled by Jacob Trepak. And as the clock continues running, it'll be 3rd down and 8. 3rd and 9 make it.
And Trepak just comes up and makes a good play. I mean, defensively, these guys are getting an opportunity to play. And again, you make the best of the opportunity and show the coaches that you're ready. And that's what this Central York team is doing. And again, through a season, and this season is going to be a little shorter than previous seasons, you don't know how many opportunities you're going to have like this.
3rd and 8. Knobb fumbles the snap, covers it wisely, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And probably Randy Pfizer will have to come back on and punt. He is their punter. Because that's a 4th and 20 for Redline. Pfizer in to set for the punt, 7-16. And guys, we got to. Yeah, I don't know what our unclarity was. They're going to run
the clock down.
Mm-hmm. And I apologize there because I there for a split second got lulled in by the running of the clock down, and be a timeout called by Redline. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more after these messages.
The Jet Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 4 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Genesis of York, and Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover. The Giambalvo family dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale. Giambalvo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jet Giambalvo family of dealerships. 4 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
Welcome back. Our next broadcast, as you see it there, Northern York, East Pennsboro, September 25th, 7 p.m. on Friday on ABC 27-3. Should be a great game. Northern York and East Pennsboro, kind of really very much of a rivalry game coming up next week. We're happy to be able to call that game on ABC 27. If you'd like to get social with PCN, connect with us on your favorite social media platforms for more sports and programming updates. Don't settle for just a few highlights for your high school football coverage. Watch the best football matchups from across the state on PCN every Friday at 7 p.m. Stay up to date on the schedule at pcntv.com. If you'd like to rewatch this game and more of PCN's Games of the Week, on demand, stream at pcntv.com and or the PCN app. Welcome back to the fourth quarter, 6:56 to play. Archie Smith Jr., Jerome Presley. Again, I'm really excited about next week, getting an opportunity to see what East Penns and Northern might bring.
One thing that we are able to see is we are aware of what to expect when we get to the games now. Yeah. You know, this was a first experience for everybody. Everybody that's watching right now, that's tuned in. It was a first experience for the players, the referees, the coaches. We're able to see that, you know, only the home team band is allowed in. The home team cheerleaders. As you can see, Redline, they're over there with just their team. So we're able to learn and see a lot of these things as it goes, because we're learning as well as week by week.
As you said, week by week, guys, and go ahead. I mean, not to interrupt Jerome, but you know, you're allowed with teams and everything. You're allowed, you know, a couple hundred people into the stadium. So even for us to call the game, I mean, we've got to give Invicta and our production team so much credit, because they have to set up this tent for us right by the gate, giving us this opportunity, kind of outside, inside, to call this game. But it's brought to you tonight again by PCN and ABC 27 and a host of sponsors making this all part. Up the middle. Running hard, staying on his feet. He's going to go to the end zone, untouched, touchdown, Central York. And making it look easy was Jamar Simpson. Archie, I mean, I know you like him too. I mean, he's quick.
I mean, he's a DB, and you can see the aggression from him coming up on the outside. But I like our quarterback that's back there, Trenton Dunnick, as well. I mean, he's a big boy that's back there that's playing DN that comes to quarterback. So you can see the depth that Central York possesses right here, guys, to make a deep run in this season and probably beyond the season as well.
Well, I'll tell you, Juan Morris, the move that was put on him just now in that hole, number 11, he was just grasping for it. I mean, that just was an amazing run. And he you know, you saw the stutter step by Morris, and he just gets upfield north-south and gets in the end zone.
Yeah, Simpson with that 26-yard TD run. It's nice.
Oh, Simpson.
That looks like Perbula. That'll be it for the night. Perbula, just his numbers, 11 for 15, very effective for 185 yards and 5 TDs. Yeah. So I think tonight, you know, Penn State fans, especially Archie, you know this, they were tuned into this game to see what is this junior that has already signed with the Nittany Lions, and Perbula has, or not signed, excuse me, as we say, literally committed, so to speak, well, 11 for 15. The commitment of 185 yards and 5 TDs. He's got his team up 54-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
CCA field trips make learning come alive.
5:37 here to play in the fourth quarter, and we just talked about the anticipation of the state matchup, and I just, like I said, I know people that tuned in tonight. That last drive was 3 plays, 36 yards, coming in and really giving a rest to Perbula will be Dunnick. Trenton Dunnick come in playing quarterback at 220 at 6'2", and Archie, you alluded to it, the fact that they're just very deep here at Central York, and more than particular, even Jerome, like, they got so many universal players who can step in at different spots, and that just makes for a great team.
It does, and again, you got to be careful. You got to temper this game, though, because you don't, you know, this was a lopsided game, very similar to last year. You're going to have harder games on the docket, so you must come out of this and improve. So you can't look at this game in a vacuum and say, you know what, this is us. because you can go into another game against a team that is a lot different. So
Right.
you have to take this game for what it is, look at the film, see the mistakes you made because you didn't play a perfect game, but then build. Have the kids be excited to build for the next contest because you don't know how hard that contest is going to be.
Right. Archie, your thoughts just really at where we stand and what we're doing.
One thing that I do like, I mean, like you say, man, this is a new experience for me to be up here with you guys because, you know, usually I'm on the field. I hear it all. You know, I hear the timeouts. I hear the coaches. I hear the players. I hear the grunts coming from the lineman. I hear the physical play. So that is hurting me for not being out there right now because that was what I am used to. But this is just to be back, guys, around some football in the great state of Pennsylvania would suit me as well.
Yeah, well spoken. I mean, as always, Archie, to be back, I know when I got and began to make my descent or my trip here, I was just so excited we had this opportunity to call it. We want to thank tonight our statistician, Travis Sparks, for always being the man on the job. And this point, 55-0, 5:37 to play. And right there, when you think about that right there, the special teams play tonight. Brock Holloway didn't come up, but special teams play, I think, tonight, Central York. We don't often get inside those aspects of the trenches, but they really get up and down the field, and they've got a lot of interchangeable parts here. We're even seeing that in special teams, guys.
Well, I mean, special teams doesn't get the total credit it deserves. It's another phase of football that is extremely important and can win you or lose you games.
And you can see Braden Bowers, an offensive line and defensive lineman, running down in to make a play.
Yeah, you have to have your special teams solid because you can win games and lose games by having poor special teams.
Juan Morales left side across the 50 for Red Line. We've got some different guys in, and the white jerseys on that side too. Taking over the quarterback spot now is Riley Knobb, 6'2", 168 junior for Red Line. And a host of different guys on this other side of the defensive line too for Central York. Entering the game is Zane Collington, Fulp in the 24. 45 listed tonight is Niger DeWitt. That's the younger brother. What was that hit? Let's just say something. We just want to talk about him. DeWitt came up, as we just mentioned his name. His brother has a touchdown tonight and a 2-point conversion. He came up. Arch, I'm going to let you take that one right there.
He's showing you, man, like we talked about. I'm seeing my brother as a senior. I'm a sophomore. I want to come out here and let him know I'm out here to make plays too. That is perfect. For these guys that only had so much amount of time to be able to hit, you can see his head placement. It's right on the outside of the ball, shoulder tackle. That is great coaching and great technique.
And to play defense, there's got to be a little bit Lionheart in you. You know that, Jerome. Not everybody's cut out to play defense. That right there, pursuit, fundamental. He might be a kid you can continue to circle and say, hey, he might be able to come in here and play some plays for us.
Well, between Lionheart and Scruples being loose, you gotta, you
gotta go hard.
Because you gotta go hard, man, and that's what you see from the sophomore coming up and laying a very good hit sound tackle on the play. So
because I'm standing, and I've said it tonight, I'm standing between two guys that college-wise you both played on that defensive side, but being offensive specialists too in high school, but there is a different mentality. It's not cut out for everybody defensively, but I've seen so many interchangeable parts here tonight. For anyone that's tuning in, I mean, we're seeing guys offensively, defensively, and there's just a host of guys that can play on both sides of the ball for the Panthers. That makes you very deep. Fumbled snap. I like the way he was able to recover and pick it up. Riley Knobb has kind of been a little bit of a bright point coming in at quarterback. I mean, he handled that snap. That's a rough snap, you know. Timing's everything here in these first games.
Well, you can see you have Dayton Bagwell, another sophomore that's coming out here. I mean, these guys, to be able to come out in the COVID era, as we can say, is kind of history they'll never forget. And I get a chance to play on the Friday night. So you can see these guys are out here trying to display what they've been working on as well.
2:27 to play, 4th down and 5. All the way around the right side, putting his head down. Man, and look at DeWitt coming up and I know you guys are seeing what I'm seeing in 45.
Well, I mean, right there, that just looked like a broken, busted play from the beginning. And again, we're learning that Central York swarms to the football. I mean, and whether it's the starting group, the next group up, and that's a coaching situation. That's a mentality that the coaches has instilled in this defense. And you talk about the mindset of being an offensive, defensive player together. The one thing that's consistent is you want to be aggressive in both. You want to be aggressive and sound in both that you do. So if you're a running back on offense and you play defense, you play corner, you want to be aggressive in both of those situations. So that translates both ways.
I will say, Niger DeWitt, I'm going to go ahead and give you my all-steel mill team just on the 2 tackles he made. How you like coming in as a sophomore, making the all-steel mill team on your first 2 hits? So 45, congratulations. You get a coffee mug, an old coffee mug, and one of them old iron lunch boxes to take to school if we get back to school. How about that, fellas?
I like it.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
And then we got, Jameer Simpson is coming in as a senior. He's coming out like, yo, I'm trying to get in the end zone again.
He you know what? And Archie, you mentioned it too. You got a minute to play. You're hoping coach gives you one more time. How about it? To get 6, because it's a touchdown's a touchdown no matter what the score is. 55-0, 51 seconds, maybe a play or 2 here left for the Central York. Simpson, right side, trying to evade anybody that he can. Coming up, making a nice tackle. We're going to see some nice tackles. That's Isaac Ernest, the sophomore, 155 pounds for Red Lion, coming up to make a nice tackle.
And good job, Ernest, on that play. No quit in. You down 55-0. 20-plus seconds or 30 seconds left on the clock as it's running, and you come up and you make a play. That's no quit on him. Good job, Ernest.
Well, coming up at the end of the game is the Giant Foods post-game report, where we'll feature the Capital Region Insurance Agency Player of the Game, and we'll discuss the HOFFMAN Ford Player of the Game. And really, I mean, it's guys, I'm going into this thinking we'll hold that thought, but I mean, it's hard to talk against a quarterback that had 185 yards and 5 touchdown passes. But we'll let you guys decide as we come back up with our post-game report after these messages. Central York 55, Red Lion nothing. We'll be back after these messages.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor, featuring Case Construction, paves the way for your project from start to finish. With 6 locations, Groff Tractor is always nearby your equipment needs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance. HOFFMAN Ford wants to trade keys with you. That's right. Give us the keys to your current vehicle, and we'll get you into a brand new Ford with great offers, like up to $13,500 off MSRP on a new Ford F-150 XLT 4x4, or 1.9% financing up to 60 months, plus $9,000 off MSRP. And get top dollar for all trades, no matter what it is. Let's trade keys at HOFFMAN Ford.
HOFFMAN has it. HOFFMAN Ford, just what you're looking for. HOFFMAN has it.
An average day in our household is really crazy.
We're juggling a lot, so finding time for each other can be pretty tough. Mealtime definitely brings us together.
Being able to come together at the table to eat and laugh is just fulfilling to our souls.
Bon appetit.
Teach your children. That's the time that we have together in this crazy world that is family.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
CCA field trips make learning come alive.
Well, welcome back to our Giant post-game report. Really, tonight, under COVID situation, we still had a Friday night football game. We were just mentioned maybe lacking a few things. One of the things is smelling the hot dogs and the pretzels and the different things like that. I know there's small things we missed, but here's what we did have. We had kids on both sides, so hats off to Red Line and Central York. Both kids going hard, playing a game in these situations, and it's unideal for kids. I mean, we feel that way from High School Sports Live, from our hearts. Like, kids deserve to have what we've always had too, and that's the Friday night games, that is experiences. So we did our best to bring you what we had here tonight. But we're going to look at the play of the game right off the bat. You got to take a look. We had plenty of opportunities to see some of the great ones, but this is really the one we think tonight looked pretty special. You got Prabula in the shotgun formation. He gives to DeWitt. DeWitt makes a spin, and Tractor's full ahead, and that is our HOFFMAN Ford play of the game. And take one more look at it. Archie, why don't you go ahead inside this little spin.
Well, you can see he sees him right there. I know I cannot be denied to get in that end zone right now. He had one thing that I cannot be denied to get in there right now. We make a little spin move. Hey, he misses, I score. I take advantage of what he did, and he did.
Now the opportunity to call out the HOFFMAN Ford player of the game. And I think tonight with 185 yards, 11 for 15 passing. And Jerome, you kind of made that challenge tonight. Like, you want to see that, continue to see that star quality, and he did not disappoint. Prabula hooking up with Wrights Rawls. Wrights Rawls had another game too. Left side, I love this. At the pylon, Wright Rawls. He knows effectively he has a receiver that can do it. Prabula had 5 touchdowns on 185 yards, being 11 for 15. Comes back, backside, Wright Rawls again. He had 3 touchdowns. So really, Prabula throws for 5, Wright Rawls with 3. I mean, you could say any one of these guys interchangeably game of the night, but really, it takes passes like that right over the defense on the mismatches. Our next broadcast, presented by Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, is Northern York versus East Pennsboro, September 25th. Kickoff time 7 o'clock on ABC 27. This game tonight brought to you by PCN and ABC in partnership together. So don't settle for just a few highlights for your high school football coverage. Watch the best football matchups from across the state on PNCN every Friday at 7 p.m. Stay up to date on the schedule at PCNTV.com. Rewatch this game and more of PCN's games of the week on demand. Stream it at PCNTV.com and or the PCN app. On behalf of the great night we had here tonight for High School Sports Live, we want to thank our Invicta crews, our stats guy Travis Sparks. On behalf of Jerome Presley, Archie Smith Jr., I'm Todd McCall for High School Sports Live and our whole Invicta crew and everybody part of this tonight. We'll see you next Friday, Northern York, East Pennsboro.